I'll bring some of that.
There we go.
So it makes it that rigid that
Yeah.
he puts,
I know I haven't hit it yet.
What he does is, so then, you put the lime and the rock, and that, it's a dirty rock, or
Is Sammy coming?
so
No.
it can compact
Oh, she-
together, and it doesn't let it push down
No.
into the mud.
I'll talk to you later.
It'll come up through, but
So-
it's just like a big membrane.
Okay, oh, let's see. Oh, just about time.
Are you serious? When did that come up?
I'll talk to you later.
Oops. Okay.
It's 6 o'clock.
I'd like to welcome everybody to our Monday, April 13th, 2026 Cascade City Council meeting. We'll have a call to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call?
Weber?
Here.
Hush?
here,
Gale?
Here.
Delaney?
Here.
And Baker's absent.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Hush,
Second.
second by Weber. All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we'll have public comment. There's a limit of 3 minutes per person on agenda items of local government issues. Seeing none, we'll go to 6, consent agenda. City Council minutes, 3/23/26, Cascade Park Board minutes, 4/6/26, Cascade Public Library minutes, 4/7/26, Cascade Economic Development Corporation minutes, 3/18/26, liquor license renewal for American Legion Post 528, April 13th, 2026 claims. Is there any questions on the consent agenda? If none, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Gale. All in favor?
Aye.
At this point, we need a motion to open public hearing on the fiscal year 2027 budget. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Gale,
Second.
second by Delaney. Roll call.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Any new information?
No.
Nothing? No
Nope.
questions?
I mean, it's
Everybody's good?
exactly
What it
as
was
we
earlier.
talked about at the last budget meeting.
If there's nothing else, then I need a motion to close public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Motion by Gale,
Second.
second by Hush. Roll call.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Number 10, consideration to approve resolution number 22-26, a resolution adopting the City of Cascades fiscal year 27 operating budget, which begins July 1, 2026 and ends June 30th, 2027. Is there any questions on this resolution? If none, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second.
second by Hush. Roll call.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Weber?
Aye.
Number 11, consideration to approve resolution number 20-26, a resolution to adjust the May 25th, 2026 City Council meeting date due to the Memorial Day holiday.
Just one thing, I had suggested Tuesday, I don't know if that works for everybody. I do know that one person is going to be coming back from vacation on that Tuesday, and with travel and everything, that's
could be.
possibly, he may not be at the meeting, so I don't know if Wednesday works. He said for sure he'd be at the Wednesday meeting, so,
Whatever works for
I
everybody.
mean, makes no difference to me.
I'd have to check my schedule just because I know I don't have nothing Tuesday, but I don't know about Wednesday.
Okay.
I can let you know tonight when I get home, so.
Okay.
But I mean, if I'm missing it, it's not, I mean.
So it'd be one.
I mean, one or the
Yeah.
other, so it seems
Yeah.
like, I mean, and I don't know for sure with Jamie, he's just like, if there's travel delays or anything, he might not be here. But if you
So
don't-
it'd hinge on.
So, I
Jeff.
mean, we could do it Tuesday, and if he's not here, he's just not here. If that works better for you, I mean, it makes, whatever you guys.
I didn't bring my phone with me.
Tuesday
so-
the what?
The
27th, right
27th.
after Memorial Day.
Yeah, it'd be the Tuesday right after, and that's normally what we do.
Let's just stay with that.
Okay,
I-
that's fine.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gale,
Second.
second by Delaney. Roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
And we have Stewardship Week proclamation, April 26th to May 3rd, 2026. Can I bring that up?
Do you want to just look at mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to read the whole thing? Oh, just the
Just
line.
that
Yeah,
side
just
card.
read that.
There you go.
Okay.
I got it up on the screen there.
Whereas healthy, fertile soil and clean water is the lifeblood of nutrition and sustenance throughout the world, and soil conservation is a benefit to everyone, and whereas effective conservation practices ensure soil, water, animals, plants, and air can provide a rich standard of living, and whereas our survival and continued production and access to quality food and water depends upon the robust management of diverse natural resources nationwide, and whereas stewardship calls upon every individual to help conserve these precious resources to ensure their prosperity for generations to come, and whereas a focus on restoring and protecting soil plays a vital role in holding water, cycling nutrients, supporting wildlife, preventing flooding, and enhancing ecosystem health, thereby strengthening the foundation for long-term soil and water conservation efforts. And whereas the theme for the 2026 Stewardship Week is Soil, Where It All Begins, celebrates the power of soil in supporting life in all its forms and underscores soil as the starting point for healthy food, clean water, thriving habitats, and resilient community. Therefore, the Mayor and City Council of Cascade do hereby proclaim the week of April 26th through May 3rd, 2026 as Stewardship Week, with an emphasis on the importance of preserving and restoring soil as part of our collective conservation efforts and celebrating the theme, Soil Where It All Begins. That's it? And we're going to go to number 13, consideration to approve resolution number 21-26, a resolution approving a home occupation for Midwest Gun Doctors. Is there any questions on this?
Yeah. What's the deal? I mean, he wants to move it from Randy's old building to his house?
He kind of had to. And so he's looking for a brick and mortar, and so he just wanted to get approval to do it in his home until he can find a brick and mortar place. So planning and zoning addressed it, and they gave him a 2-year limit.
And they're okay with it then?
So it's something temporary.
Yeah,
And it could be less than that too, so.
Any other questions?
Is that usually the route? I mean, to go through P and Z rather than the variance?
yeah. Home business permits go before planning and zoning. And then they address them, they put stipulations on them sometimes, like they did for him.
For, yeah. If there's no other questions, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second.
second by Hush, roll call.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Number 14, consideration to approve resolution number 23-26, a resolution expressing support for the Cascade Beech Nut Single Family Housing Development and application for Iowa Economic Development Workforce Housing Tax Credit.
So if you remember, we talked about this at the last meeting. You guys approved $5,000 per home. I went back and talked to the developer. He wondered if we could also waive the building permit fee for each house and the water and sewer connection fees. That would get him closer to what he would have liked to have had for the half of the street costs, so it's whatever you guys decide. I mean, we need these houses, it's a good thing he's doing. I don't think we're setting a precedent by doing this, since these are all case-by-case basis.
I'm not sure about not setting a precedent. I mean, it seems to me like we're bending over backwards. I mean, which is fine, whatever, but, so the next developer comes by and we're, you know, we've created a new benchmark for, you know, $5,000 per home. And then, obviously, we have expenses with, through ECI with the building permits, and then also with our public works people with the water and sewer connection type things. And we're kind of just negating it all along the way here. I mean, we're talking about $600 a unit. I'm surprised that is a concern for.
Yeah, how do you handle that in the future if somebody else comes back and says, I want the same consideration?
And you guys, no, discuss it.
That's
How-
a,
So this, I'm kind of, so they're putting 8 units up? They gotta build 2 a year?
They're doing 4 right now, and then 4 next year, is what their plan is.
Okay, so the next person that comes up and wants to put 4 houses up in a year, and I would gladly be able to help them, because they're going for, I mean, not many people do that, for one thing. What's the tax base gonna be off of this in them 4 houses in 1 year?
Well,
So if
I
they're-
mean, the houses are gonna be taxed at $450,000 each, so,
Mhm.
I mean, that's,
$4,000 or $5,000.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's bringing people to Cascade. People are updating, people that maybe live in an older home now or looking at moving to a newer home, so that opens up, you know, homes that maybe, you know, people starting out can purchase.
I guess the last paragraph, following this approval, a development agreement will be drafted for approval. Once they complete their preliminary plans, Jake Deaver with MSA will also review and provide recommendations concerning water, sewer, streets, storm, and curb and gutter. Are we doing the engineering?
No, we're not doing the engineering, but usually once we get a plan, we usually review it.
Okay, but then that's also another cost that we're going to be incurring for.
what
the
what does he
units.
charge for that?
It depends on how much time you use.
That's what I was wondering.
I mean, that's why we have building permits charges, and I assume, I'm going to go on a limb here, but I would imagine that $400 is pretty inexpensive compared to other communities. And then $200 for water and sewer connection fees again, because our employees actually do the final hookups to the water main, correct?
nope. Well, they don't,
They're supposed to.
well, the sewer lines already ran in there. So, they're just the water connections, they may do that.
I mean, we have expenses along the way. I can't see spending, or,
Giving
I just don't like the
another
precedent.
Another $600 a lot?
well, you're talking about $350,000 or $400,000 units.
So would
$600
MSA
seems
still
like
review
small.
this irregardless of anything, correct?
Right.
They-
They'll just review the plans and make
Anyhow.
sure that everything's covered.
But that's part of our building permit.
Right.
That's part of where the $400 goes.
What do you guys think?
And also,
I was under the, it was, you know, and I kind of went with it last time, but I was under the impression that he was saying that baseline, and then he was suggesting that he really needed this amount last time when we were first approved or whatever. And if it brought it down from the, what was it, 7,000 a unit to 5,000 a unit, now we're 5,000 a unit, going another $600 to, or a little more to get them into where he was thinking he was gonna be able to do this whole thing, I'm not really against it.
Well, again, going back to our last meeting, basically they said they would do it for 5,000, and then 7,500 was a number that was thrown out there for whatever purpose. But then in the second paragraph, it says, if you remember, developers had asked for $7,500 per home. They'd actually, my recollection, I looked at the minutes of our last meeting, and it was actually, you know,
You know, I get it, and I think,
I mean, in
I think
this-
the wording in that thing was bad.
Well, I'm just saying
The
this
way
here-
it came across as $5, because it did really sound like Bill was saying, it sounded like he was stating that he just needed 5,000.
Yeah, he was happy with that.
That's, you know, and at first, I took it the other way at first, and then when I go back and it says, you know, 5,000, and I think both Mark and Bill were right on, you know, he kind of was stating that it was his price.
He was
So-
comfortable with that.
Right, and so I think it should have been worded differently, that, you know, he was actually needing, you know, 6,000 or 7,000, whatever, 7,500, whatever he needed to get this thing going, if he needed more than $5,000.
Oh, I just related how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah, I'm just
expressed
saying,
to me.
I'm thinking that maybe that's a mistake on his part, whatever it may be, but I going through, I'm just saying that for $600, we came down from 7,000 is what we were talking about to 5, he was talking about, we're talking $600 more. I don't know if I would argue with the $600.
I
but-
mean, if they're gonna do 4 units a year, and if, I'm just thinking, new houses, new whatever, somebody else wants to put four units a year, promises 4 units a year for whatever, I don't see, yeah, we haven't done for every household, but this is 4 units a year, and the cost of the infrastructure stuff is gone up quite a bit, but
I guess the second paragraph there, if you remember, the developers had asked for $7,500 per home. In reality, it was 5,000. That statement, or that sentence makes it sound like we were not giving them enough in the beginning, whereas in reality, we gave them what they wanted, the 5,000.
but it was the way,
I mean,
Well-
the way it was worded the last time, is what you're saying?
No, the way it's,
Well,
the way
I
it was-
wasn't here, so.
yeah, the way it was
So-
worded first time was they were willing to do it for more or less, do it for 5,000.
But did he ask for 7,500?
He did.
But
He-
for some
and
reason,
so-
7,500 became a number out there. Now, in this paragraph here that we're in front of us tonight, it says, if you remember, developers had asked for 7,500. Well, certainly they didn't. They asked for 5,000. So-
No, they
No.
actually did ask
They
for
did ask for
7,500.
$7,500.
He said, we would like $7,500 per unit. We think the minimum we could do it for is 5,000.
Right.
That is what they
That's
said
exactly
last.
what it was.
Because I took it as them asking for 7,500, and so, and I think even, you had made a motion to that effect of going with that 7,500. And then we went back and forth, Jamie and me and Bill, and I seen their point of, that it looked like he was stating that, you know, if he could do it for a minimum of 5,000, why won't we go with the 5,000? So
Right.
they did ask for 7,500.
Which equates to half the cost of the street that they're putting in,
Well, I don't know where half the street came in. I mean, most
That was in the
contractors
last
do
memo.
their,
the last meeting.
yeah, I mean, but most developments are done by the developer. I mean, the city, we technically haven't had this format before, where we're all of a sudden paying for half the street costs per unit. It's just kind of an odd,
And has anyone asked to do that before?
I think we've helped people out before, but in different ways. I think sometimes we've helped out with cost of water lines, partial payment, water lines, et cetera. But I've never seen anything where we're paying for half the street before.
But, yeah, I mean, this is a fairly small street, too. But,
What do you guys think?
So I mean, the MSA report, are we gonna have to pay for that? I mean, we're gonna have to pay for something, for Jake's not gonna come out and do it for nothing.
Right, but I mean, normally that's,
That would be
we've
done
done that
anyway.
in other developments. They bring us their plans, but then we usually have our engineer just review it to make sure that nothing was forgotten and
Right,
it's,
I
you
remember
know.
when we did that street up there, he came out and checked things.
Yeah,
and-
I mean,
Yeah.
he did the same thing,
But
so.
that's
Which
part-
makes sense, it's
that's-
logical, it's a.
It's part of the
check
expenses
and
of the
balance, yeah.
$400 for doing
It makes
that.
sense, I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to go off, you would want your own guys to check it out, and make sure it's
Right.
right. That's logical to me.
So I need a motion.
So, I mean, either we go with the 600 or we don't, so that's kind of where we're at right now, so.
I'll just throw it out there. I'll make a motion to approve the $5,000 per home and not to approve any other compensation.
Is there a second? There a second to that motion? If none, the motion dies. So we go back to the original.
Right, right, then
Okay.
they need to consider the resolution that's in front of them.
I need a motion then on the original resolution.
I think it's the middle ground, so I'll make a motion to go with the, what it will be, $5,600 or 5,600 or $600 more? Is that what we're, yeah, $600 more.
4-2.
Yeah, I think that's the middle ground between what they were asking, where we're going. I think that gets us where we're going, and I think we still got the cost down there, so I think that's the middle ground for it.
So that'd be a motion by Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Weber,
All right,
Hush,
Nay.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Number 15, consideration to approve resolution number 25-26, a resolution approving the hire of Brett Lux as a seasonal public works employee for the city of Cascade, Iowa. Is there any questions about this? If none, I need a motion.
Was this the same young man last time?
No, he
Different.
That's right, that's
unfortunately
right.
didn't
That's
come
right.
back.
I forgot about it. Yep, yep.
He-
All right.
I think he's doing an internship or something,
Yep.
so.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to hire Red
Motion,
Lux.
motion by Gale,
I'll second.
second by Delaney. Roll call.
Weber,
all right.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Number 16, discussion on advertising for the third full-time police officer. Fred?
Guess this is something that we've talked about for the past few years and talked about it at budget time, so we're kind of looking at, maybe hopefully getting somebody started by the beginning of the fiscal year, July 1st. We can get some, kind of have a timeline here, if we can get an advertisement out there and maybe possibly do some interviews. Hopefully we get some people that actually apply and have some good candidates.
We did last time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Any comment?
I'll be pummeled in the office later.
Oh. Is there any questions for Fred on this?
On the timeline, I'm going to be gone May 19th through roughly, or the rest of that week, so,
Okay.
until Sunday, so. But if it could be done either before or I guess it's May 15th deadline. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yep. This was just kind of a guideline, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
we just
can-
kind of, I
yeah.
just put some dates,
Okay.
Yeah.
just tentatively.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I need a motion on this.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second.
second by Weber. Roll call, or all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 17, consideration to approve ordinance number 1-26, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cascade, Iowa by amending Chapter 6-2, Utilities, Sanitary Sewer Systems, specifically 6-2-4, Building, Sewer, and Connections, and this is the second of 3 readings.
So you each had one in front of you because what I included in the packet, I just printed off the ordinance and I had the all-new construction still blocked off, but at the last meeting, we had said we wanted to include all new construction has to have a backflow preventer. So,
You approved that at the last meeting?
the first reading, yes.
First reading.
That new construction had it,
Why?
because that was, the city superintendent was here and thought that that would be a very good idea, so.
So that means everyone's gotta run, the way I hear it, 2 sewer lines out of their house?
No.
No,
Um,
I didn't.
I think it was actually to prevent that scenario.
Yeah.
Why can't the check valve be used then, for venting purposes?
I think what it is, the lower drains have got to go through the backup,
Backflow preventer?
backflow. The upper drains, if they're out in the yard, they have to go and then go beyond that.
behind it?
Whatever, so that they're not filling up
So
the
so
basement.
that means you have to get, so your backflow preventer's out in your yard, you gotta bring this one out, then you gotta bring one out the top, and then drop in behind the backflow?
That's correct. And for a existing household, or for existing structure, it'd be very expensive to reroute all your lines to do it according to.
Versus a new
The
build.
reason these backflow preventers were put in was a string was left in the main. The sewer, if the sewer lines back up, they're gonna back up in the house with a backflow preventer or not. If it's
That will
sewage
happen.
stops, you bet, these things are a pain, you know? But if you, I think we should just eliminate them, period. Only place they should be put in is in the floodplain,
Where you'd have
where
a,
you would have a backup during a flood.
and you'd leave that up to the discretion of others with whether they wanted to do it or not.
Yes. But I thought we were just gonna do away with them, period, but
Is
I
there,
remember
is,
discussing about doing it away with them, period, in
He
general.
wasn't here for that.
Oh,
He wasn't here.
Yeah, I just remember it being about, let's, going through the explanation of why we need to get rid of the existing homes, which makes sense to me, but we really didn't have a discussion on, eliminating them altogether. That wasn't really a.
so in
Scope
new
of the
construction,
conversation.
you'd leave it up to the discretion of the property owner?
well, like I said, you're still, so now you're putting a hole through your concrete wall when you never had to before. You dropped everything in the basement, it comes out one line, there's no water. Now you have to bring a sewer line out to get behind that backflow preventer that is at this elevation. You know, you can't bring it out the same, well, you could, I guess.
Can you bring it in?
But if you do that,
behind
that
in the
defeats-
basement.
That defeats the purpose, if you do that, because you bring it down, you bring it in the same elevation, well, it's still gonna back up. I guess it's going upstairs, so no, it's not, I guess,
Yeah.
but you're bringing 2 lines in. I just think they're a joke, but,
So the line behind the backflow preventer, you have to bring that through
And
the
that's-
wall.
That's the ones in the floor, correct, Bill? The ones that you hook up to it are the ones in the floor. The ones from the upstairs would have a pipe coming in, going straight up. There would be no way to come out till it.
Right. Which is why it was being eliminated, because otherwise you have to.
Right,
spend all
but
the
through
extra
time, so this
expense.
is, a flat in the pipe. Through time, what's gonna happen there? The toilet paper, everything gets caught on it. You
It
know,
catches.
It's, they're,
Ideally, it doesn't, but it probably does.
No, it does. So,
I guess I'd rather,
I've put many of them in there.
I'd almost like to see us table this until we have a little more,
Input.
talk to a plumber, or talk to somebody, or talk to the public works guys or something, and see what, we can table it and see where we want to come out on.
Does somebody want to make a motion to table?
I'll make a motion table.
Motion by Hush,
Second.
second by Weber, roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Number 18, consideration to approve ordinance number 2-26, an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 14, Emergency Medical Services of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cascade, Iowa, and this is the first reading.
So while Kim and I were reviewing different things for, when we started talking about the Walmart contract and stuff, we pulled up the last ordinance that was approved, and mileage was not included. And there was no definition for what a loaded mile was, so we decided that we should probably add mileage and add a definition of what loaded mile is. So basically, that's the purpose of this new ordinance, just adding some things that have been eliminated and not included.
Kim?
Well said.
Any questions? If none, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gale,
I'll second.
second by Delaney, roll call.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Number 19, consideration to approve resolution number 12-26, a resolution approving entering into a contract with Wellmark Insurance for ambulance insurance payments.
So we talked about this with EMS MC, our billing company. We finally got more information on what they were going to charge us, and we got information on how many Walmart patients we actually have, which it was like 8%. And the amount of the $32,000 that had been written off, it was only $2,500 from Walmart patients. So after looking at all of this, Kim and I were like, what was the benefit? The only real benefit is that the checks get sent from Wellmark to the city or to EMS MC instead of the patient. And there was 2 patients that caused the write-off. So it's really no benefit to enter into this contract. And like I had said in my memo, like at the end of the year, we can look at it again and see if our numbers have changed. But at this time, I mean, there's real no benefit to enter into a contract. So, and if we enter into a contract with Wellmark, what they charge is quite a bit less than what we're charging, so.
Yeah, I didn't like that the shadiness of their contract
Well,
deal anyway, so.
I had to go in a roundabout way
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
the
to find out.
contracted price. So
Right.
Yeah.
EMSMC was not forward in telling us that price, so I had to get a hold of our Walmart contact. And he was the one that gave me the pricing, which it's, depending on the level of the call, whether it's a BLS call or an ALS call, like sometimes it was only, we were getting paid if we contracted 50%.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
so-
that less,
Mhm.
much less.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was only 40%, but unfortunately, some of it was 50%.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't think we need to go into a contract, especially with.
I was just really surprised that we only had 8% of our patients were at Wellmark.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was kind of a shocker.
yeah.
Darn.
So I guess if you guys are in agreement with us that we don't want to enter into a contract, then we need a motion to basically not approve this resolution, because the resolution states that we are approving entering into a contract. But before we do that, we would need to untable the motion.
I need a motion on table.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second.
second by Hush. All in favor?
A
Or this is a
call.
roll call.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
And then I need a motion on the resolution with the change.
just basically
Yeah.
not approving the resolution.
I'll make a motion to not approve it.
Motion by Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Hush,
I,
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber.
Number 20, discussion on the request from CEDC on allocated funds in fiscal year '26, and this has been tabled. It would be my opinion that until we address other
Or
things.
could we
Can we just-
untable it and make a motion that the 20,000 just stays in the budget, because then it comes off the agenda?
Yeah,
Because it has been on the agenda for months.
let's get rid of this. I'm gonna make motion to put it back in the budget.
We need
We
a
have to
motion on table
untable
first.
first.
Untable it first.
Motion by Weber,
Yep.
I'll second it.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
All right,
Hush.
I,
And then I need a resolution for the request.
by putting it in the budget, we're not authorizing the expenditure. Correct.
Right, we're just saying it's just
It
going
it
to stay in the.
didn't leave the
Right, it
budget.
hasn't left the budget. We haven't allocated it.
Yep.
It's just stays in the
so
budget.
it's just gonna stay in the budget, it just isn't gonna be on here. every-
Need a motion?
I'll make motion.
Weber,
I'll second it.
Gale, second. Roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Weber,
All right,
Hush.
I,
Reports, Fred?
I just want to say, the last couple of weeks, Tyler's been gone. We end up sending him to Lean School, which is the law enforcement information network for the state of Iowa. With Lean, there's 6 regions in the state. We're in Lean Region 3. So the first week he went down, it's primarily classroom, a whole lot of book learning, common sense stuff, hopefully. He came back last weekend, went back, or the weekend he was in between, and then went back his second week. And how many people did you have in your group?
10 or 11.
Okay, because I was,
35 to 5.
okay, when I went to the training, I think we had 5 persons in our group. Brad went last year, there were 10 persons in a group. They're actually given an assignment to go out and do surveillance. It's an actual case that a police agency is working.
Really?
And so he completed his second week and came back with her certificate, and we're glad to have him back, so.
How'd you do? Good job.
So,
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're up.
Okay, we plan to flush hydrants the week of April 20th and 27th, and we'll be starting on the east side of town. I submitted the All-Star Award application for the Cascade Library and Community Room project. I checked in with Big River on the veteran banners, and they're planning to have them completed within the next 2 weeks, and I've already talked with CMU about getting them hung, so our plan is to have them up for Memorial Day. Cougar Pride Day is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we are planning to have kids assist with planting trees around the pickleball court in Oak Hill, and then cleaning playground equipment at the Cascade Community Park and Riverview Park, and then also raking the sand at the volleyball court and adding sand if we need to. And then the electric project at the community park, well, was moving really nicely.
Until the rain?
Until it started raining. So we're hoping that it gets dry and it can be done by the end of the month, but,
Let me know how that works out.
yeah,
It's not looking good.
I know.
Deanna, with the veteran banners, are we planning on keeping them up year-round, or,
Yeah, we actually sold 83 of them.
oh, wow.
So we'll put them up and then we have a way to like change them out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you'll do a little bit of a change every
Yep.
so often?
How many can we hang up at a time? Or how many can be hung up through town?
There's 17 and 20, is it 21? There's like 34 or something like that at one time.
And you'll
So-
just rotate at some
Yep.
point and do, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything else?
If there's nothing else for the betterment of the community, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion adjourn.
Motion by Gale,
second.
second by Hush, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. Good seeing you, Tyler.